Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, my friends, we're going to be naming every single named location on the Fortnite map from worst to best. So we're going to be going through from the worst possible location to spawn in to the best possible location to spawn in. And as long as the place is named inside of the map, then it will be on this list. I don't think I've missed anything. I've gone through the map. I've ordered this. It took quite a long time to actually go ahead and order this because some of the things were really hard. And it took me quite a while to actually go ahead and get this list. So I'd appreciate if you guys could smash the like button below, as well as also subscribing to the channel and chucking on the notification bell. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into this list. So these places are going to be rated on the location and the loot. So if there's a place that has an absolutely trash location in the middle of nowhere and just barely any loot, it's obviously going to be rated a lot lower than other parts which do have a good location and really amazing loot. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's start in my worst spot. The worst named location is Wailing Woods. Let's be honest, it is a pile of trash. I think there's one place you can go inside of Wailing Woods, and even when you do go in there, it is really a pile of trash. I think I went there once and found one chest. I'm probably sure there's probably a few more chest spawns, but really there's nothing. And it's so far away from everywhere on the map, it's like, bro, I'm never going to get the zone, and I'm never going to get any loot. Once I went there, I literally got a pistol. That's all I got. I didn't get shield, didn't get bandages, I got a pistol. But sometimes it can just be like that. It can be absolutely rubbish. No one lands there, so you're going to leave with 0 kills. It's going to be like a 2-kill game. And it is really not a place that I would like to go inside of Fortnite. And that's why I've only gotten there once, and that was for gameplay of a video. And once I get the gameplay for this video, it's probably going to be twice I'm ever going to go inside of Wailing Woods. So, ladies and gentlemen, in our next spot, we have Junk Junction. I really can't say it, dude. Junk Junction. There we go. But basically, this is one of the new places that were added inside of the map. It's so far away. It is really, like, it's actually hard to land there because the bus really never goes over it. So, it's like in the top left corner of the map. And you'd think, yo, it's so far away, bro. It must have amazing loot. No, it doesn't. It's a pile of trash. It's honestly absolutely rubbish. Junk Junction. You can probably find a little bit of stuff there, more than Wailing Woods, but really it's nothing compared to the places on the top of the list. But that is our second last spot, really, with Junk Junction right there. It's a trash place to go. Don't go there. Don't waste your time because it's in the middle of nowhere and it's got trash loot. Now, going up the list even more, we have Moistymire, which is a decent place. At least you can get a whole bunch of wood from the trees there, and also you can get some decent loot, as there's a few chests around, as well as also some decent loot around the ground. So it is a decent place to go. So we're getting up on the list to places that are actually you can go without having to literally just play the game without anything in your inventory. So basically, Moistymire, nothing really much to say about it. It's kind of like away from everything again. You're going to always have to be running half of the map to get into the zone most of the time. That's why it's so low on the list, but the loot there isn't too bad. Now next up, this would have probably been last on the list until the recent update. Haunted Hills is coming in our next spot, and this place actually got a buff. It was that bad, it had to get a buff, because it was horrible. It really was. There was no loot there at all. I think you found 1 to 2 chests there, but they buffed some chest spawns, so there's a lot more chests there. By a lot more, it's probably about 4 to 6 chests now inside of this area, rather than the probably 1 to 2 that you'd find before the recent patch came out. So that's why Haunted Hills is higher up on our list than I was expecting, because Wailing Woods and Haunted Hills used to be the worst places in my opinion. Oh my god, when I landed at Haunted Hills for the first time, it was rubbish. It was really rubbish, and I never wanted to land there again. But now it's actually decent, but once again, it's pretty far away from anywhere that you really want to go on the map. So yeah, that is our spot right there. Moving up again is going to be getting into places that are actually kind of decent to go to. And this place is going to be Tomato Town. Now, I don't really go here because it's really small. You don't really get much loot from it. But honestly, it's kind of in a pretty good part of the map. It's still not in like the dead center where there's like a whole bunch of people and you can go wherever you want and you're basically always in the zone. It's not really like that, but it is pretty decent. You get a little bit of loot. There's not much variety you can go to. There's a few houses around the area, but really it's not a place that you would want to go with a whole team. Maybe if you're on a solo, in a solo team, you would go there and you can go ahead and just get loot all to yourself. But if you're with a team, it really is not a very good place to go. With this place as well, you can also go, there's a house near it, I know, and there's also the underground tunnel that you can go to, that usually has a few chests there and also some good loot spawns, and you're going to get a few kills around this area. So Tomato Town is there. It's a pretty decent spot to go to. Next up on our list is Lonely Lodge. Now, Lonely Lodge is a place that I've only recently started going to. I don't go there as much. I only go there really if I'm not really going for a high kill game. It's not really good for kills. The location isn't that good, but the loot is surprisingly really, really good. Now, this place is kind of in the middle of the side of the map. That's why the location's decent. So, it's kind of in the middle of the map, just not really the dead center. It's just way to the right, but it's still in the middle. So it's in between Wailing Woods and also Moistymire, and it's got some really good loot. There's a lot of houses you can go to and get some pretty decent loot from there. I always seem to get some really good shotguns, like usually a purple or a blue shotgun every time really that I go there, which I will goddamn take because that is a really good spawn there. It's got some really nice loot. That's why it's so high up on the list. Now, next up is a place that I barely ever go to, but I thought I'd put it up a little bit higher than Lonely Lodge just because of the loot, and this is Flush Factory. It's really so far off the map, and Flush Factory, it's got some decent loot, as it is a pretty big area to actually go to. So it's a pretty big area to go to, but it's so far away from everything, and yeah, that's why it's this high on our list, because of how big it is, really, and you can get some good loot from it, but you're going to find yourself running a good 5 minutes, literally, to get into the zone most of the time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, not really much to say more about Flush Factories. Next up, we have Dusty Depot. And really, Dusty Depot it's the dead center of this list for a reason. It's really, you go there, it's either really on or off. It's in the dead center of the map, basically, which is why it's so high up on the list, but you can get it crazy good loot from here or absolutely trash. It's really just luck of the draw. That's why it's in the middle of the list. It's half good, half bad. The loot isn't amazing. The location is very good, as you can just go to Dusty Depot, move up to factories, move up to Salty Springs, and you're basically wherever you are, and you're most of the time going to be inside of the zone. That's why Dusty Depot is that on our list. Now, every other location in this is a goddamn good location, and this is where I had a lot of trouble just putting where these places would be on the list, and these places are going to be the best of the best. Now, starting the best of the best as the worst of the best, basically, is going to be Shifty Shafts. Shifty Shafts is in the middle of the map. It's got some pretty decent loot. I just don't really like the actual layout of the area. It's all underground, above ground, stairs everywhere. But other than that, the location and loot is really good inside of it, so Shifty Shafts could be a really good place to go for you. Now, not really much more to say about Shifty Shafts. It's the worst of the best, and there's not really much to say more about it. Next up is Retail Row. I used to go to Retail Row so much, and now I don't really, because not many people go there anymore. I'm not sure what happened to it, but not many people seem to go there that much anymore. But Retail Row, it's a huge area, obviously, kind of in the middle of the map, a little bit off to the right, but still kind of central inside of the map. It's a huge place with me, just got insanely good loot, and yeah, it's honestly a very good place that I do like to go. And these things above this, the two that I've got above this, you guys might be like, well, I really think Retail should have been above this, and that's what I thought as well. This was where probably I had my most trouble. Next up, we have Fatal Fields and Anarchy Acres. I kind of put them as the same, because they really are the same. They're kind of in the same place in the map, but just on opposite sides. And in my opinion, it's a big area. A lot of people land there. It's a big area. And also, there's some pretty decent loot there. It's really spread out, kind of. So, it's not a lot of loot in one area. You have to look around the whole place to really get good loot. But usually, there's a house around, which usually has some really nice loot in it. A whole bunch of chests lying around Anarchy Acres and Fatal Fields, which just makes it amazing and stand above the rest, as well as the kills that you get there. Usually, when I land there, I lead with about 4, maybe 5 kills. And it is one of my favorite places to go, these two. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the about final 5 or 6 of this list. And this is where we get to the best of the best. Back there, kind of the worst of the best, but this is the best of the best. Coming up next is one of my favorite places to go, and this is Greasy Grove. Greasy Grove, loot, 10 out of 10. Location, 2 out of 10. It's so far away from the map, really. You're going to be walking a lot still, and it's really not that not really a fun place to go. But now with Tilted Towers inside of the area, you do have a place to go to. But before Tilted Towers was there, you were walking for half of the game. You'd leave Greasy Grove with 7 kills, but then you would get like 7 kills when there's like 10 remain, because you wouldn't be able to find anyone the rest of the game because it's just a whole bunch of open space. But now Tilted Towers there, it's a lot better, but still the location is still a lot off the map. But the loot, dude, is 10 out of 10. Amazing loot inside of that area. I have a special cabin that I go to inside of Greasy Grove, which 9 times out of 10 has a shotgun. I don't know what it is. Is it a glitch? I don't know, but it's absolutely amazing. Moving up next is one of my personal favorite new places to be added into the map, and this is Snobby Shores. Snobby Shores right now, it used to be my favorite place out of all of the new parts, but then I've slowly lost interest in it, as once again, it's kind of like Greasy Grove, 10 out of 10 loot, and about a 5 out of 10 location. That's why it's above Greasy Grove there. It's kind of in the central of the edge of the map, just like it was with Retail Row kind of, as well as also Lonely Lodge. It's kind of like that, but the loot is 50,000 times better than Lonely Lodge. That's why it's a lot higher than Lonely Lodge. Snobby Shores, amazing loot, pretty bad location. Now moving up, ladies and gentlemen, we have our final 3 places on the list. Here we go. What do you guys reckon is going to be the number 1 place? I think you guys know what it is. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 space. This is a place that's really grown on me. I didn't really like it at the start, but it is one of my favorite places to go to now, even after the update. This is Salty Springs. Salty Springs is in the kind of central area of the map. You're going to find yourself most of the time inside of the zone, and it's really just a fun place to go to. I love going to Salty Springs. Usually get a whole bunch of kills there, a whole bunch of good loot. The location is good. It's honestly just an overall 9 out of 10 place to go to. Next up, we have a place that once again has grown on me a lot, and this is Pleasant Park. Pleasant Park, bro, I used to think before our number 1 spot came inside of the map that Pleasant Park was just too overcrowded, but now it seems to be just perfect. There's about 5 people that land there, maybe even 6, maybe even 7 if you are lucky, and there's amazing loot there. It's a really big location, so there's a whole bunch of loot, a whole bunch of kills there. It's in a pretty decent location now with the introduction of Tilted Towers, which I'm guessing you guys know where that's going to be placed on this list, and yeah, that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got to say about Pleasant Park. Great loot, pretty decent location, and a lot of kills there. But ladies and gentlemen, number 1 spot, can it be anything else? Tilted Towers. This has grown on me a lot. I used to hate it. In my past video, I actually ranked it really low on one of my lists, but it's grown on me a lot. Tilted Towers is the best named location inside of Fortnite. 10 out of 10 loot, a 10 out of 10 location. It is crazy. There's a lot of kills there. It's in the center of the map, so you're always going to be in the zone, and there's so much loot. So you're going to be leaving with about 8 kills, and you're going to be in the zone with 8 kills, and also with a whole bunch of loot. I usually either find a Scar there, if not a Sniper, and I'm usually stacked by the time I do leave Tilted Towers, which is, it's very hard to leave there because you just keep getting so many kills, and you can stay there for as long as you like because it's most likely in the zone all the time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll end up the video. Hope you guys are going to enjoy. If you did, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. If you guys do want more of these ranked from worst to best, tell me what you guys want in the comment section below. Anyway, thanks for coming out. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.